What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Cigars and Whiskey for our next review. Today we're going to be reviewing a cigar that's been on the market for quite a few years. I just have never had the opportunity to get one and try it. I had the opportunity to get this cigar. It was given to me by a cigar buddy of mine. It is the LFD Andalusian Bull. Now, this is a Dominican Puro, and for those who don't know, when it says a Puro with a cigar, it means that the binder, the filler, and the wrapper are all from the one region that they're from. So sometimes you'll hear a Nicaraguan Puro. This one, however, is a Dominican Puro, and it does feature a Corojo wrapper, which is a very light brown color, which is what's recognizable about that type of tobacco, and it looks amazing. If you look at it here, it is tapered to the top, and it is pretty good on the bottom here. I mean, you can barely see any seams, and the veins are minimal. I mean, you can see them, but they're not like real predominant, and that just shows you the better quality of tobacco that was used. Not that the tobacco is bad, it just means that the characteristics of the look of the tobacco is a better quality. So with that said, we're going to go ahead and cut it up and get into the LFD Bull. Alright, we're going to go ahead and cut it up. I'm going to use this as my tabletop cutter, which features two V-cuts, large and small, and then two straight cuts, large and small. It's a single blade. It's something you can find on the internet if you're looking for something like this. I kind of like it because it gives you the option of the different sizes depending on the cigars you're smoking. And with this being a tapered torpedo almost top, I'm going to vouch for the smaller ring, or the smaller straight cut. And the one advantage of this cutter, in my opinion, is that when it cuts at a curve. So I don't know if you can see this very well, but it curves, the blade is curved, so it gives it a curved cut, which is a little bit different than something with a straight cut. But again, all depends on what you like. Alright, so with that straight cut off, the first notes we get, right away I get a cocoa, like an unsweetened cocoa, like a baker's chocolate. A little bit of a dry fruit profile, and again, I know people are going to ask, well, how do you figure that out? I just smoke a lot of cigars, and after a time of you smoking cigars, or if you're a wine guy or a wine girl, or you're into the bourbons, after a while you kind of get used to picking up profiles and flavors that not normally everybody will get right away. But it is a really good draw. I mean, there's hardly any effort to draw off of this cigar. I do have to say, right now the LFDs are very hard to find. I don't know if it's just the Dominicans had rough years or they just aren't making as many. I'm not sure, but I know I hardly ever see these in the shop, and if I do, they're gone quickly. Now, this is a 6.5 by 64 torpedo, like I said, because it's tapered towards the top. And this, you can buy a box of 10 if you can find them. They are available now. I do, like I said, I do refer a lot of people to Cigar International. It has nothing to do with sponsorship. I'm just doing it because it's a website I frequent, and it's roughly $150. So $150 for a box of 10. It is a little bit of a pricey cigar, but again, like I said, someone gave this to me. But let's go ahead and smoke through it, and we'll be back with the first third. Alright, we're going to go ahead and light it up. I'm using today is a two flame torch. I'm going to go ahead and start here like this, and I'm going to start to rotate it a little bit just to get a little more of an even burn. And then what I like to do is, once I get it good going, give it a little rotation. And remember, you don't have to go so far to the flame. I'm a little closer this morning because I got some wind around me, a little bit of rainy weather, but that's why I'm doing it. But as you can see on this LFD, it is a beautiful, distinct hunter green, gold and black wrapper, and man, good draw. You can see real ample amount of smoke. I'm getting a little bit of a sweetness, Not so bearingly sweet, it's just like a hint, just an essence of sweetness. I am getting like an outside, like when you breathe in a fire outside with the fresh lumber or the fresh firewood, kind of getting that sense in the smell. The taste, getting a little bit of a black pepper, way on the back of the palate. It might even be a white pepper. It doesn't seem so heavy as a black pepper. Now that is a difference. A lot of people noticed when they smoke a Nicaraguan versus a Dominican, there's less pepper profile. Something to do, from what what I've understood over the years, is the volcanic soil in Nicaragua emphasizes that rich black pepper profile. In the Dominican, it's not. It's a different trait. It's just like wine. Whatever region you grow it in, it has distinct profiles. So if you're new to the channel and you've never had a lot of cigars or you've smoked a few cigars, that's what, when I look at regions or I try cigars from different regions, I want to see if I can distinctly find something. Like example would be, like I said, black pepper from Nicaragua. A little more of a woody charcoal that I noticed for Dominicans. And then like Peruvian tobaccos, you get a little bit. I contend, it seems to me, the Peruvian tobaccos have kind of like a graham cracker profile. It's just an interesting, what my palate is able to see and what my opinion of that cigar is. Now it might be something you smoke and has nothing to do with what I said. It could have a wholly different experience. But usually when you're smoking a cigar with your buddies, if there's a group of you and you're all smoking it and you all get the same profile, I'm going to say that's probably what they were shooting for. With that said, we're going to keep puffing through the LFD, and I'll be back with the second third after this. Alright everybody, some of the back information on this cigar. I did just recently read online that this cigar is on back order for a lot of customers, and some sites even claim that it's up to a year before the company can catch up. Now, if you're able to find one, and you can see it, it is a little pricey. Like I said, it's a real well-made cigar for what it is, and it is something that I would use as a celebration cigar if you just got a job promotion, you're having a baby in the family, your kids are graduating school, whatever it may be. This might be a cigar you'd want to pick for that one occasion because it is a very smooth cigar. While I'm still in this first third of the cigar, I am noticing a little bit of a leather profile, a little bit of a creaminess, a little bit of an earthy wood profile. When I was describing it earlier, like I said, like a campfire, that's more of an earthy note now, not so much the char. And it might have been just the initial puff I got because I was in the process of, lighting it when I was got that profile. But it's a very delicate made cigar. I am noticing just a little bit of uneven burning. It's not an issue. What I like to do with cigars is I like to let them try to correct themselves. The problem is, like me and other guys I know, we think by puffing more, it will fix it. It won't. It'll just create more issues and make it more uneven. You can try to touch it up, but my thinking is just let it sit for a few minutes while you're relaxing and see if it catches up. If not, then you can do whatever you want to do with it, but don't rate because what you pay for a cigar and this is what I get. Oh, it's not burning perfect. What kind of crap is that? It's a hand-rolled cigar, guys. There's going to be some imperfections or defects that aren't making it bad. It's just it's hand-rolled. It's not specifically scientifically exactly the same every time. Now, there are some master rollers out there that do a damn good job, but don't let that hinder your experience. Like this, no big deal. I'll just let it do its thing. If it gets real wonky, I'll correct it. If it doesn't, it won't, because I know that this is not going to be every cigar I get with that brand and that logo. It happens. With that said, I'll be back. Alright everybody, welcome back for the second third of our review of the LFD Andalusian Bull. As you can see, still having a little bit of a burn issue. It's not razor sharp, but it isn't really bad. As you can see, the ash is holding up pretty good. It doesn't just fall off and flake in your lap. Some cigars do that, so definitely something to be aware of. If you're doing something where you're doing a lot of motion, you might experience a lot of ash, but this one I can say is pretty darn good. Now, the smoothness of this cigar, being aged as long as it is, and the fact that there's a little bit of a leather, a little bit of that earthy profile, to me, I would pair this with a Scotch or a real long-aged bourbon or a whiskey, depending on where you're at in the world. But something that's been aged for a while. It might even go well with a aged rum. I don't drink wine, so I can't recommend wine with the cigar. Not that I don't say you couldn't drink it and smoke a cigar. I just don't know wines well enough to lead anywhere. Because this is cigars and whiskeys for that matter, and that's what I do. So, cigars and whiskey. I recommend a good whiskey, bourbon, Scotch. With that said, it's smoking good. It tastes good. It has a little bit of an issue with the burning. Other than that, that's the only thing I can say bad about the cigar so far. But I like the well-balanced profile, the real subtle hints of the profile. It's not overpowering. It's not making my mouth, go whoa. But again, that's because they've aged it. So we'll be back with the final third right after this. Stay tuned. All right, everybody, welcome back for the final third of our cigar. As we're going through it, you can see now that it is starting to correct itself. It only took almost a whole cigar to do that, but man, no touch-ups, nothing, just a little bit of crazy burning in the beginning. Like I said, sometimes they just correct themselves, and it's not razor sharp, but it's a heck of a lot better than it was. But with that said, the cigar profile stays the same. It is a great match cigar for any type of adult beverage that you may like to drink when you smoke a cigar. Or if you don't drink, it's a great cigar without that even. It does have that leather profile, a really light pepper on the back of the palate at the beginning, but fades away throughout the cigar. There is that little bit of chocolate at the beginning, fades away. But it is a real well-balanced cigar. So if you haven't tried the LFD, then I definitely suggest you take a look at it. It is one of those cigars obviously people like. It's been around for a while. In 2006 it was named #1 cigar, so people do like the cigar. But don't take just my review to heart. You got to try the cigars for yourself and see if it's something you really like. And with that said, if you like this video, give me a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, always leave a comment, and as always, have a great day. Have a great smoke, and I will see you next time.